So it became my study. And I found out about Gresham's law.
And I think one of the biggest crises is the young people. Today's young unemployed become tomorrow's unemployable.
Robert Kiyosaki, a name that has been synonymous with financial wisdom for decades. His best-selling book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, revolutionized the way millions think about money, investing, and financial freedom. But what if the very principles he taught were built on deception? Over the years, Kiyosaki's reputation has been marred by controversies, lawsuits, and accusations of fraud. From the questionable legitimacy of his rich dad to the bankruptcy of his company, today we uncover the darker side of Robert Kiyosaki's financial empire. In 1997, Robert Kiyosaki published Rich Dad, Poor Dad, a book that compared the financial philosophies of two father figures, one rich and one poor. The book urged readers to stop relying on traditional jobs and start acquiring assets that generate passive income. It became a global sensation, selling over 32 million copies in more than 50 languages. The success of the book turned Kiyosaki into an international financial guru, leading to seminars, coaching programs, and a massive brand empire. But as his influence grew, so did the scrutiny of his methods.
Literacy and financial education. And the 6 words again are income behind enemy lines, looking for gold. Because when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard in 71,
one of the biggest red flags in Kiyosaki's story is the identity of the so-called rich dad. In interviews, he has refused to reveal the real name of this supposed financial mentor. Some journalists and financial analysts have questioned whether Rich Dad even existed at all. If this central figure was fabricated, does that mean Kiyosaki's entire philosophy is based on a lie?
A lot of people question whether this person actually existed, the rich dad
right?
you came up with for the book.
No, I mean, I told you the story. I got court-martialed for lying.
If Rich Dad was fictional, how much of Rich Dad, Poor Dad was simply storytelling rather than financial truth? As Kiyosaki's brand grew, so did his business ventures, one of the biggest being his financial education seminars. These events, often advertised as free workshops, were designed to upsell attendees into paying for expensive training programs. Some people spent tens of thousands of dollars believing they were investing in their financial future. However, many walked away feeling scammed.
And it's based upon my 2 dads. My real dad was the head of education for the state of Hawaii.
Investigative reports revealed that these seminars often pressured attendees into buying more courses without providing substantial value. Consumer protection groups even warned the public about these deceptive tactics. For a man who teaches people how to become wealthy, you'd think Kiyosaki would be a master of financial management. But in 2012, his company, Rich Global LLC, filed for bankruptcy after losing a $24 million lawsuit. The case involved a legal dispute with a seminar company that had previously partnered with Kiyosaki. While bankruptcy can be a strategic financial move, critics argued that this exposed a contradiction in Kiyosaki's teachings. If his wealth-building principles were so foolproof, why did his own company collapse? Kiyosaki has faced multiple legal battles over the years. Some lawsuits were filed by former business partners who claimed they were misled. Others came from customers who felt they were scammed by his seminars and coaching programs. While Kiyosaki has not been found guilty of fraud in a legal sense, the repeated allegations suggest a pattern of unethical business practices. Some claim that his financial empire is built more on marketing than on genuine financial expertise. A key message in Kiyosaki's teachings is the idea that anyone can become financially free by following his principles.
It's whatever you think it is. Now, when people say, well, how can I get more money? There's several subjects you don't talk about at the dinner table: sex, religion, politics, and money.
He encourages people to invest in real estate, leverage debt, and build passive income. However, many financial experts argue that his advice is overly simplistic and in some cases even dangerous. Real estate investing, for example, carries significant risks that Kiyosaki often downplays. Many of his followers have ended up in debt after taking risky financial moves inspired by his books. One of the most controversial aspects of Kiyosaki's career is his association with multi-level marketing, MLM companies. He has been a vocal supporter of MLMs, even featuring them in his books. MLMs are often criticized for their pyramid-like structures, where only a small fraction of participants make money while the majority lose. By endorsing these schemes, Kiyosaki has been accused of promoting a business model that exploits people rather than helping them achieve financial success. Kiyosaki frequently advises people to use other people's money, OPM, to invest in assets. While leveraging debt can be a useful strategy for experienced investors, it can be disastrous for beginners. Many people who followed his advice without fully understanding the risks found themselves in financial ruin. Critics argue that his books provide motivational hype, but lack the detailed step-by-step guidance needed to succeed in investing.
These different ideas about the subject of money. The thing I hear people say is, I'll never be rich.
Former attendees of Kiyosaki's seminars have reported aggressive sales tactics designed to push them into purchasing expensive courses. These events often use psychological manipulation, making people feel like they will miss out on financial success if they don't invest in additional training. Some attendees were even encouraged to take out loans or use credit cards to pay for courses costing upwards of $40,000. This has led many to accuse Kiyosaki of exploiting people's financial insecurities for profit. Many respected financial educators have criticized Kiyosaki's teachings. Experts like Dave Ramsey and John T. Reed have called out his advice as impractical and misleading. While Kiyosaki emphasizes financial education, critics argue that his strategies are based more on marketing than on sound financial principles. Some experts even warn that blindly following his advice could lead to financial disaster rather than financial freedom.
Kiyosaki writes a scam book, this Rich Dad Poor Dad scam book.
As more people have come forward with negative experiences, Kiyosaki's reputation has taken a hit. YouTube exposés, social media discussions, and investigative reports have highlighted the problematic aspects of his financial empire. In response, Kiyosaki has continued to defend himself, often dismissing critics as financially ignorant. He argues that the rich play by different rules, and that most people are simply unwilling to take the necessary risks to achieve wealth. But is this just another way to avoid accountability? So, is Robert Kiyosaki a fraud? Or is he just a brilliant businessman who understands how to sell a dream? The truth likely lies somewhere in between. His books have undoubtedly changed the way millions think about money, but his business practices raise serious ethical concerns. While some have found success following his teachings, many others have been left disappointed, in debt, or feeling misled. Whether he is a true financial guru or just a master of marketing, one thing is certain. Robert Kiyosaki remains one of the most controversial figures in personal finance. What do you think? Is Robert Kiyosaki a financial genius, or has he misled millions for profit? Let us know in the comments below.